Testing.
Is it on?
Testing. Is it on? Thank you. Good evening and welcome tonight to this meeting. I'm Doug Apple, Chair of the Rent Guidelines Board. I'd like to welcome you to this meeting of the board. This is the fifth meeting in a series of public meetings and hearings to determine lease adjustments, rent-stabilized housing units in New York City with leases commencing on or to be renewed on or after October 1, 2025 and on or before September 30th, 2026. I will now take roll call. Please respond if present. Genesis Aquino.
Present.
Alex Armlowicz.
Present.
Robert Ehrlich.
Present.
Arpit Gupta.
Present.
Reed Jordan.
Present.
Alex Schwartz.
Present.
Christina Smith.
Present.
Adon Sotran.
Present.
And Doug Apple, I am indeed present. Let the record show that we have a quorum. The proposed rent adjustments voted at this meeting will be published in the city record and posted on our website, New York City Gov, and through the New York City Rules website at https://rules.newyorkcityofnewyork.us. 4 public hearings to commence on the proposed guidelines will be held from 5 to 8 p.m. on the following dates and locations. June 5th at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center, 153-01 Jamaica Avenue in Queens. June 9th, in person at the Theater at City Tech, New York College of Technology, 275 J Street, Brooklyn. June 12th, at Hostos Community College, 450 Grand Concourse. And June 17th, in person at Symphony Space, 2537 Broadway at 95th Street in Manhattan. Anyone who wants to comment on the proposed rule at a public hearing must sign up to speak. People wishing to speak at the public hearings can pre-register in advance. Pre-registration of speakers will begin on May 14th. You can pre-register online through our website, or you can sign up to speak by calling 212-669-7480, Monday through Friday. For those who do not pre-register, registration is also available at the in-person hearings. All public hearings will be live streamed. Spanish interpretation and others as needed will be provided at each hearing. If you're unable to attend our hearings, you can submit written audio and video comments for the board members starting on May 8th through June 17th. Instructions will be on the board's website. Our next meeting will be May 22nd at Specter Hall, 22 Reed Street. Information on this is on our website and in our meeting section. If you're interested in receiving email updates about upcoming RGB meetings, please go to our homepage and click on Email Updates under Quick Links. As per our agenda, the board will be considering proposals for Hotel Order 55 first. It has become an RTB tradition to allow tenants and owner members. So on this one, the hotel order, the tenants and the owners have allowed me to make the motion. At this time, I would like to put forward a motion for proposed rental adjustments for rent-stabilized hotel units. I move to adopt the language of proposed Hotel Order 55, and I move to adopt the following proposed rental adjustments for rent-stabilized hotels. Residential Class A apartment hotels, 0% increase. Lodging houses, 0% increase. Rooming houses, Class B buildings containing less than 30 units, 0% increase. Class B hotels, 0% increase. Single room occupancy buildings, MDL Section 248 SROs, 0% increase. To summarize, in accordance with my motion, you are voting on the adjustments I propose and the proposed language of the order. Do I have a second? A second I have. Any discussion? With that, I call the roll on this item. Genesis Aquino on the hotel order.
Yes.
Alex Armovich on the hotel order. Robert Ehrlich, hotel order.
No.
Arpit Gupta on the hotel order.
Yes.
Reed Jordan.
Yes.
Alex Schwartz.
Yes.
Adan Sotram.
Yes.
And Doug Apple, I also vote yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Christina Smith. Okay, sorry, Chris. I don't know how I miss you there. All right. Now we're on to the apartment order. Yes. The motion on the hotel order was approved by a vote of 7-2. Thank you. Now we're going to consider the hotel and loft order number 57. Owner members will get the first opportunity for a motion, followed by the tenant members. I'm going to turn into the owner members for their motion.
I'm going to make a statement first,
All right,
then my motion.
feel free.
There is a tale of two cities that is clear from this year's data. While core Manhattan properties have seen some NOI increase, the outer boroughs are being decimated by constantly rising costs. Rent adjustments from this board have not kept up with inflation over the last 10 years. Our own data makes clear financially distressed buildings are increasing in northern Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and now Staten Island. Net operating income did not increase. We have heard testimony from the NYU Furman Center and the Community Preservation Corporation that confirm that as much as 20% of all rent-stabilized housing is already at risk of foreclosure. We have additional data from property owners that pointed out that net operating income has declined by 25% for pre-1974 buildings in the last 5 years, showing a clear trend of growing distress. As we all know, this data lags and does not include major expenses such as capital reserves, so the actual amount of distress is worse. While we are proposing a range tonight that is necessary to protect a large portion of rent-stabilized housing, this board's data says a rent adjustment of 6.25% on a one-year lease and 9.25% on a two-year lease is needed to stop further deterioration of this key housing stock. Let's be clear, this won't save these buildings. The added revenue from that adjustment has already been spent. This is just what is necessary to continue the same level of distress we are currently seeing. These buildings need more help. They need property tax relief from elected officials. They need the government to do a better job of lowering insurance costs, water and sewer costs, and using their influence to keep energy costs lower. Because of the clear need for rent-stabilized lofts, apartments and lofts, I move to adopt the language of the proposed apartment and loft order 57, and I move to adopt the following proposed rental adjustments for rent-stabilized apartment and lofts. Apartments, 1 year range, 6% to 8%, 2 year range, 8% to 10%. Lofts, 1 year range, 6% to 8%, 2 year range, 8% to 10%. Special guideline and decontrolled units, 49%. To summarize, in accordance with my motion, you are voting on the adjustments I proposed and the proposed language of the order.
Couldn't hear your numbers. Can you tell us?
6.8 on a 1 year, 6 and 8.
6 to 8 and 8 to 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you all heard that. It was a 6 to 8 on the 1
and 8
year
to 10.
and 8 to 10 on the 2 year.
Yeah.
Just so we all know.
Wait.
8 to 10.
Yes. Yes. Right. All right. So we will now vote on that motion. Just to reiterate, a 6 to 8 rent increase being proposed on a 1 year lease, an 8 to 10 rent increase on a 2 year lease for both apartments and lofts, and a 49% increase for the special guidance on decontrolled units. Right. So I ask for a second for that motion.
Second.
Christina seconded. So with that, I will take the roll on this motion. Hennis Aquino.
No.
Alexander Armlovich. Rob Ehrlich.
Yes.
Arpit Gupta.
No.
Reed Jordan.
No.
Alex Schwartz.
No.
Christina Smith.
Yes.
Adon Sotron.
No.
And Doug Apple, I vote no. So with that, the motion has failed by a vote of 7 to 2. I now move on to asking the tenant representatives if they would like to make a motion. So now the tenant representatives will speak.
Good evening. So
Get some quiet now.
before we make our motion, I just have a few words I'd like to say. Good evening. I normally prepare more like concrete written statements, and for whatever reason this year, I thought it would be more appropriate to sort of riff a bit and just speak from the heart. I want to speak to you all first because I think it's the most important thing to do, and then I also want to speak to my colleagues. So first and foremost, I think that the data this year overwhelmingly shows and justifies the need for a rent freeze. I think that given the fact that, as we all know, NOI is up 12%, landlords' profits, we can assume are also increasing, and tenants' wages are going down. All of these indicators to me show that tenants deserve a rent freeze. I think you also can't look at these things in a vacuum, and considering the overcompensation of landlords for the last 40 plus years, justifies not only course correction, but as I said before, freezing of the rent. I also think that not only do other housing experts adopt that position, certain mayoral candidates adopt that position, and all of you who are tenants, most of which are rent-stabilized tenants, understand the need for something like that. So first and foremost, I just want to name that because I think it's important. I also just want to say that to my colleagues, I think it's really important that we truly interrogate and think about why we are on this board. We are supposed to be doing a public service. And I think that when we're thinking about these issues and when you actually think about the purpose for the law being created, it at its core is to protect the public. It is It is to protect from price gouging. It is to protect tenants in communities that were being displaced. And if we do not approach these issues coming from that place, then I do not think that we are truly serving the public. So it's not difficult to conceive, and it's happened for many, many years, right? Like sitting in an ivory tower or thinking about these things academically, but the reality is that these decisions that are made by this board of merely 9 people appointed by the mayor, most of which who don't live in rent-stabilized housing, most of which are not below 50% AMI, which is the vast majority of rent-stabilized tenants, I think it's not only unfair, but I think it's inappropriate and unjust to not think of this through a lens that is compassionate and understanding of that reality. So what I say to you is the decisions that we're making are decisions grounded in economic justice, racial justice, social justice, and to veer away from that is problematic. So I think, maybe it needs to be a situation where it's mandatory that you come to housing court and you see what a 2.5, a 3.5, a 5% increase can do to a family. I think it's important that you go to a DHS shelter and you see people who are struggling to make ends meet or to get by in life, what that means for actual people. And maybe, just maybe, that will influence the way that you decide to serve the public. So, with that, I know we're voting on the range today, not the final vote. Unsurprising, I'm sure, to all of you, we are not going to get a rent freeze. No one here is shocked. And to that, what I would say is vote for our elected officials, vote like tenants, vote for your interests, tell your neighbors, your brothers, sisters, mother's friend that it is of the utmost importance, because if not, we will wind up being in the same predicament that we have been. And I also think that we should be critically looking at how we can change this board, this process, because it's not serving the public. Thank you. So, at this time, I would put forth a motion for proposed rental adjustments for rent-stabilized apartments and lofts. I move to adopt the language of the proposed apartment and loft order 57, and I move to adopt the following proposed rental adjustments for rent-stabilized apartments and lofts. Again, this is the range. On a 1-year lease for apartments, 0 to 1.75%. And on a 2-year lease, 0 to 3.75%. For lofts, 0 to 1.75, and for a 2-year for loft, 0 to 3.75%. There's a basis for it, you'll understand shortly. For the special guideline and decontrolled units, it's at 49%, which is the standard. To summarize, in accordance with my motion, you are voting on the adjustments I propose and and the proposed language of the order.
Thank you. Any discussion on that motion? Yes. Just to clarify, it's 49% of the maximum base rent for the special guidelines or the decontrolled units. Thank you. With that, I would ask for a second on that motion.
I second.
Thank you. And with that, I'm going to call the roll on that motion. Just to again summarize, for apartments and lofts, a range of rent from 0% increase to 1.75 on a 1-year, and 0% increase to 3.75 on a 2-year. I will now call the roll on that motion. Genesis Aquino.
The rent is too damn high. We deserve a rent free, so yes.
I didn't hear what she said.
She said yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alexander Armlovich. Robert Ehrlich.
No.
Arpit Gupta.
No.
Reed Jordan.
No.
Alex Schwartz.
No.
Christina Smith.
No.
Adnan Soltran.
Yes.
And Doug Apple, Chair. I vote no. With that, 2 yes votes and 7 no votes, the motion has failed. At this time, I would like to put forward a motion for the proposed rental adjustments for rent-stabilized apartments and lofts. Before I do that, I just want to remind the members of the board and the public that these are preliminary guideline adjustments. I encourage that the public join in our annual process of public comment. I look forward to reading and listening to your comments over the next several weeks. I move to adopt the language of the proposed apartment and loft order number 56. And I move to adopt the following proposed rental adjustments for rent-stabilized apartments and lofts. For apartments on a 1-year lease, a range of 1.75% to 4.75%. For lofts, on a 1-year increase, a range of 1.75% to 4.75%. On a 2-year increase, for apartments, a range of 4.75% to 7.75%. And on the lofts, on a 2-year increase, a range of 4.75% to 7.75%. On the special guidelines and decontrolled units, I propose a 49% increase above the maximum base rent. To summarize, in accordance with my motion, you're voting on the adjustments I proposed and the proposed language of the order. Is there any discussion on that motion? I ask for a second. Second by Arpit Gupta. Now I'm going to take the roll on that motion. Genesis Aquino.
No.
Alex Armlovich. Yes. Rob Ehrlich.
No.
Arpit Gupta.
Yes.
Reed Jordan.
Yes.
Alex Schwartz.
Yes.
Christina Smith.
No.
Adnan Soltran.
No.
Doug Apple, as chair, I vote yes. With that, this motion has passed. We're done, right? Got it. All right, any further discussion of the board? With that, I ask for a motion to second to adjourn.
So motion.
Motion granted. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
All right, with that, we adjourn. Thank you and look forward to seeing you at our public hearings.